So I would like to call together the Monday, September 17th meeting of the City of Monona Finance and Personnel Committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Kitzlar.
Here.
Alder Wood.
Here.
Mayor O'Connor.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of September 4th?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Looks like there are no appearances. There is no unfinished business. Under new business, item 6A, consideration of resolution 18-9-2296, approval of bid award for the Riverfront Public Improvement Project.
Move approval.
Second.
Mr. Stefani.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay. On September 6th, the city opened bids for the Riverfront Improvement Project. Hamburg contractors provided a low bid in the amount of $3,451,820. The Public Works Committee reviewed the bid tabulation and summary and engineer's recommendation at last week's Public Works Committee meeting, and has recommended approval of Hamburg contractors. The bid breakdown for the Hamburg bid, it was $2,167,680 for the streets portion and $1,284,140 for the parks portion. And Strand did do a engineer's opinion of probable cost, and their estimate came to $3,481,104. So everything was very close with the engineer's opinion and the Hamburg bid.
Can you provide that breakdown again? Sorry.
The Parks Department, $1,284,140. The streets portion of the bid, $2,167,680.
Thanks.
And
Sorry.
in addition to the finance meeting, this is starred for immediate action at tonight's city council meeting for approval.
Anything else?
Not unless there's questions,
Jake,
Mayor.
do you have anything you'd like to? Any questions? I'm assuming the reason the parks is the $1,284,000 is because we've already allocated some money this year, or because we're waiting to bid the rest of it later? Is that?
I believe everything is in this bid right here.
Correct. So, well, what's not included in that bid is the concession stand, restroom build-out, public art, ice skating rink,
Okay.
all the site fixtures, so all the benches and chairs, and that curved bench seating top.
Okay.
So those will all be in a separate bid.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
When will that be, the second bid?
The concession stand restroom is going out for bid starting on Thursday, so those bids will be back and read at the November council meetings. The site amenities, the benches and chairs can be basically owner direct purchase with council approval, and then once we get an estimate on the ice rink and the bids come back from the concession room, we would be bringing that as a option in probably December or January.
And Bicycle isn't included, right?
Correct, I'm sorry, yep,
Okay.
B-Cycle
No, that's
was
fine.
also not included. Which would be an owner direct purchase.
Yeah. My only question is a small one is, but the cement slab that would require, is that a part of what we are
Correct.
doing? So
Correct.
we could potentially have a cement slab that's,
Well, if B-Cycle
could
doesn't
put-
come in, it'll just be an additional bike rack.
okay, all right.
Anyone else? I find it amazing how these varied. When you look from item to item, I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars
sure.
difference.
Yep.
It's just, I suppose that's kind of typical, but it's really,
Right, and that's why you put out the bid. They have the freedom to allocate those expenses how they wish, as long as their bottom dollar beats their competitor's bottom dollar. Now, if there was quite a bit of a difference between our engineer's estimate and the low bid, depending on what that separation is, we'd probably have to reconsider the low bid. But these were very close.
one thing, isn't the landscaping is much higher with the Hamburg bid, isn't it? And is that because they're doing more?
We're not sure.
landscaping, or?
But that will be an area that we're gonna watch through the submittal process and compare what they submit versus the plans.
Okay.
But there's a high price tag in the streets portion as well as in the parks portion as compared to the opinion of cost.
Okay.
But Strand and staff has talked about that, and that'll be an area that we're gonna watch.
Okay.
There could be some expected cost savings on that item for sure.
Okay.
We'll watch that, though.
And obviously, it's less in other things, so.
Right, yep.
Okay. All right, anyone else have any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is a review of the 2018 completed capital projects. This is not something we'd be voting on, except
No, it's just
accepting a
information.
report or anything, is it? Okay.
So this is just kind of information purposes where we're at. So I handed out kind of a couple things here. The first 4 pages are kind of, I'm going to go through, is basically all the budgeted capital funds for 2018. At the very end of them, after each expense, I either put that it was done, or if it's got a little star by it, it means that all the final bills aren't in and it's still in progress. So you can see kind of most of the general admin, general public buildings are still in progress. Law enforcement, they're completely done. So they had a savings about $2,000 of their capital budget. Fire, on the first page, fire protection has 2 more things they have to purchase. Right now, they're currently on target for their budget amount. Page 2 has the ambulance emergency, which is dispatch, public works. Ambulance is still haven't received that yet. I think it's going to be within the next couple months or so. But dispatch, those projects are all done, so we saved about $5,000 there. And basically the public works equipment, about $2,700 right there. We saved because those projects are done.
Did you just say we don't have the ambulance yet?
Not yet.
Oh, wow. That's a
And-
long process.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. He told us it's about 2 months away or so.
Yeah.
Takes a long time to build them. So the next page is kind of the highway and streets with Dan's department. All those none of them are done yet, so all those are still in progress. So there's not a lot there. So we'll come back to those later in the year. Community center, basically those projects are done. Library, it's this HVAC, which we put on hold until the 2019 budget discussions. The vestibule, as you can see above, is upstairs. It's still in progress.
Mark, I've got a question. Is the 3,100, is that what was spent for Strand, or is that their total bill for the study of the HVAC? or-
Currently, to date, that's not the total.
Okay,
All their bills are not in yet.
okay.
Parks, this board, we basically had a lot of our big projects this year. Some of them are done, the Frostwoods and the beach boom system, the wetland signs, they're all done, finished. Some are still in progress. Winnequa gazebo, I'm kind of looking at that, and I think we're over, but I think there's a donation we haven't received yet on that one. But the kind of ones I highlighted is, I put an arrow next to them, is the Wildhaven Park, Huska Park tennis filling, a boat launch, and then in the pool, chemical storage room. So I kind of want to talk about those. If you go to the very next page. So this, on this is over 2 years. Some of these costs are over 2 years, so 17 and 18, because there was some engineering done, design done in 17. So this is actually combined of when you get the actual cost and actual budgets. Some of these have 2 years worth of budgets. So if you look back on the sheet we just looked at, they might not match up because of that reason. So Wildhaven, the finals in. The actual cost is about $14,000 over budget, a little over $14,000. Boat launch, $21,000. Tennis court, about $500 500 under budget, and the community center improvements, which is the kind of the walkway in that area down there with the chemical storage room, it's about 9,600 over budgets. So basically with these, most of these were change orders during the construction. And Jake is here if you got kind of questions, more detail if you want. Where that works too is if it's under 25,000, change orders can be approved by city administrator, and these at the time were approved by April as being okay for the change orders. How are we going to pay for these? These are kind of the savings like we talked about before. The beach boom system had $14,000 in savings. Playground surfacing had $11,250 in savings. Dream Park, $6,900. The tennis court, we just allocated that out between the boat launch and the community center improvements, and then some savings on just park trash cans. So
Did this mean that we didn't do these other projects at all?
this means those projects came in under budget.
So the beach boom is done?
Correct.
It's paid for and purchased, the system, it's not installed.
Oh, okay. And we had 14,000 left over from that?
Yeah, our original quote from Dane County, the number I got from them versus what the number was when we went through the calcs and ordered the, it's quite a bit different. so,
Yeah.
To our benefit.
And the playground surfacing?
Yep, those
That's
are,
done
those
and
are
you're-
conservative numbers when I
Okay.
budget for them, and then based on what we actually need, so, some of those include like repairs to the playground equipment, and if we don't need those, or don't need as much stain on them, we saw some savings there.
Okay.
Is that all playgrounds?
All the playgrounds with wood chips, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of in the next couple pages are kind of the details, where the expenses add up to those numbers and where the contracts were. First I forgot to put the contract, the big contract for the tennis court. So you can see the total fee for that one, which is total expense $185,287 is what we're paying. Total cost, the total contract was $194,447. So that portion came under budget on that contract. There were some savings. Wildhaven Park, you can kind of see where we went over. Blaze was the contract on there, so you kind of see the total cost of the contract, $142,000 to $128,000 in there. So that's, they were again change orders. The boat launch, same situation, where we came in over budget.
Jake, what's an example of a change order for the Wildhaven?
Sure. So Wildhaven Park, during the course of construction, it was determined that we need to have like 2 extra steps and railing. So those are on like line unit pricing, so based on number of feet. There was some additional concrete needed for the flare out that we did towards the deck and for the bench that we put in. The field stones that are on the shoreline were kind of a change during construction. Originally, we had smaller riprap pieces, and as we put them in, we were concerned about them being washed away and collecting more seaweed debris, and it would aesthetically match up with what we had on either side of our neighbors. And then the additional plantings on the left side of the walk path, those were an add-on as a kind of a way to put in some perennial grasses and plantings versus just turf. And then we had a little bit more area of restoration that we needed to do than we had originally anticipated.
Cool. I don't know if anybody else has any questions or concerns or anything.
Doug, you have anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Thanks for this, Mark. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, we will move on to acceptance of the bills. Now, Joan, do you want us to do a motion to accept them before we go over them?
No, I think
can
generally
just do it
this
at
is
the
the one
end?
that is at the end.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought, but. All right, Mark.
Yeah, so if you go by the page number in the top right-hand corner, is kind of talking, that's what I'm referenced to. So I just want to hit here, page 1, the Badger Well Supplies, Inc. It says, the first line says oxygen, and it's for $2,900.64, and there's a number underneath that 205-341-001. This is, we get money for a grant, so this, we have to spend it on certain things. There's a grant we get from the state every year, so this is one of the items that was spent on with our grant money, which was required. We have to spend it by certain times. Page 2, just kind of hitting the GEC, the engineering company, is doing our building permits. So that's their monthly July inspection fees. Not a lot of stuff. Page 6, Strand, just kind of hitting on what the Strand does most of our engineering. So these are the items that they're focusing on. As you see, Bridge Road, Riverfront, HVAC. So that's where a lot of those costs are. Page 8, Barnes, just, doing the brush pickup. That's one of our 4 pickups. Page 9, Falcon Energy Systems at the very bottom. This is the rec charges we get. So you have these solar panels on top of the library, City Hall, the wells, and garage. So this is the charge we have to pay every quarter based on how many recs are used. So this is a quarterly charge. Page 10, Farrell Equipment and Supply. This is the plastic sheeting we use for the flooding, the lake levels issues. As you see, the general ledger account, the last column is 603, with the 603 ending 394. This is where we record all our flooding accounts. So if you see this account number in here, that's all related to the flooding activity. I believe this is probably the biggest, one of the bigger ones with that. Just so we know, it kind of is hidden on this. I believe it was like on Tuesday or Wednesday, we got an email from the county that says we wanted a meeting, and they told us they wanted all the costs in by Friday. So we had to scramble to get everything done. So luckily, Leah and Dan and Jake did a lot of work and getting a lot of our costs into the county for our hard costs. There was a lot of stuff involved with this process. So hopefully that everybody in the county had to do it, so they have to make the pitch to FEMA, and hopefully we still qualify for reimbursement. So now it's in the county's hand to get it reimbursed for us.
I had one thing on that page, Mark, just curious, under Full Compass Systems, a guitar. We bought a guitar. Who bought? Is that Will?
Say that again, sorry.
Bought a guitar.
Car?
Guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, that is, I donated my guitar to the radio station.
Oh,
and I
okay.
want it back.
Oh.
So I bought one so that when we have musicians in there, we are able to let them play our guitar.
Okay. Just thought, okay.
Page 12, just Quick Trip. We get a lot of our gas. We get through 2 different gas companies, Landmarks and Quick Trip. Quick Trip has been excellent to work for. They get good discounts on that, so that's been good. Good deal we have with them. Dan did that for us. Page 14, Monona Bank.
Sorry, Mark, on that Quick Trip, then we're not using Landmarks at all anymore?
We are still using them. This is just out of cycle how they pay. We pay these. They want to be paid right away. Landmarks is a little bit different, but we do use both. I think the diesel is.
Yeah, we typically purchase our diesel from Landmark and gas from Quick.
I believe that is it.
On page 14, entry sign repair for Michael Signs, which sign was that? It was $3,900.
That was the entryway sign off the Beltline going northbound, black wall, the blue letters.
Oh, okay, where the sales are and, okay.
We've already been reimbursed by their insurance company for
Oh, okay.
the signs and the lighting behind it, so.
So it's from an accident
Yep.
as a result of
Yep.
that, okay.
That's all I had.
Anybody else have any questions? Is there a motion to accept payment of the bills?
Move to accept payment of the bills?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.